America is being methodically destroyed by an era of weak men, too afraid to stand up for what's right, out of fear of being canceled or being ostracized on social media. In order to turn this around, men need to abandon the fear of the social justice mobs. This is according to Steve Deace, host of The Steve Deace Show, and author of A Nefarious Plot, which is now being adapted into a movie for release this year. We discuss the personalities of men like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Ron DeSantis, which are now being maligned as extreme or improper by modern narratives, but they were once considered the norm. Men not afraid to speak their minds. We also discuss Steve's book, Nefarious, about its story of a plan to destroy America and how this relates to what we face today, and also how we can help turn this around.
Steve Deace, thanks for being on Crossroads.
You bet. Happy to be here. Big fan of you guys' work. Had you on our show for your outstanding documentary on January 6th, so happy to be here.
You know, I want to get into kind of what's happening with kind of the characters we're seeing emerge right now. Elon Musk has become the man in the arena. Trump, maybe we'll see what happens when he starts campaigning, but both of them represent something interesting. And I think this is missed, but I know you touched on it. Both of them are kind of like the everyman.
Yeah.
And the concept of the everyman is kind of being lost right now. How do you see this with them?
I kind of chuckle when I see. I don't even pay attention anymore to what gets said on the other side. I'm trying to filter out the BS from people in my own uniform half the time now, and I chuckle when I see a lot of people on the right that are like, well, you know, he's not one of us. I don't know that I trust him, and well, first of all, I think everybody's right to be suspicious of everything in the day and age, especially given the conversation you and I just had, right? But with Elon Musk, I think it's actually very simple. It's a simple thing that it's a lost art in our time. I think Elon Musk is just a man. And you know, hey man, I'm a Christian. I put the fun in fundamentalism, okay? You know? And I'm a biblical worldview guy. But this is what men in the West were like, whether they went to church or they didn't, whether they had a religious viewpoint or they did not. The West was built by men who didn't like BS, who wanted to dominate, who understood the ballad of Ricky Bobby that if you ain't first, you're last, right? This is what men used to do, and I don't think it's any simpler or any more convoluted with Elon Musk other than this is just a rich alpha male who hates being lied to. I just think it's that.
I think it's accurate. He like builds rockets and flamethrowers and wears medieval armor and takes photos of himself trolling people.
I just think it's that. I think the same thing is true of Donald Trump. I think he's just, you know, I think he's just a rich guy that was very successful and was watching a lot of what made his success possible erode and was like, I'm going to call BS on that, man. I just think this is what men were like. I think it's fascinating watching what Ron DeSantis now has done in Florida. And again, Ron DeSantis is only done in Florida. We're like amazed. This is incredible courage. This is what almost every man would have done with that kind of power in any generation up until this one.
Then what have we lost where people who do what we all would have done maybe 50 years ago,
right?
Where people doing it now is such a standout thing where this would have been normal. So I mean, but on that note too, is it resonating with us because maybe that's who we still are? Like, what has changed, would you say?
There is something unique in the American DNA that we know there's an echo of that legacy culturally, that iconoclastic, we go our own way and you go your own way, and as long as you don't get in the way in our way, cool, you get in our way, we will crush you. There is still some of that. Now that light is dying. It's flickering. And you can see it with the amount, you can even see it on our own side, brother. I mean, the amount of our people who will sit around and watch Fox News all day long and then never attend a single school board meeting while their kids are being mentally raped by the curriculum and they can't be bothered. I spent during the last couple of years of shutdowns and mask mandates losing my bowels on my show, watching clip after clip of one lone mama bear who would go into the drugstore without a mask. And then some creepy guy wearing 3 masks would walk up, we've all seen these videos, would walk up to her and try to bully her. And I'm like, where are the other men? Because in any other era, if you walked up to a woman like that and got that personal with her and accosted her, 3 men would have dropped you right there in public. for daring to violate her space like that. Furthermore, why aren't the men walking into the drugstore without any masks? I mean, the amount of guys are like, oh, I've listened to Joe Rogan all day. We're going to have a civil war, man. I'm like, dude, you wouldn't take your little daughter Misty to Costco without a mask. You ain't anywhere close to fighting a civil war. You're a sheep. And I think that's the thing, is we've got to get the men back. I think, and these men all have some different belief systems. Trump kind of has your Teddy Roosevelt belief system, a generic love of America. Elon Musk is just an alpha male. I think Ron DeSantis is kind of more of your Reagan-era true believer in our causes, all right? But they all have something in common. They're dudes. We need the dudes. If there's any dudes watching me right now, yeah, you, get off your ass. Do something. Defend your kids. Protect your family. You know, hold people accountable. There's more to being a dude than just marking time at a job you hate. More than being a dude than just being led around by women. There's more than to being a dude. There's a higher purpose and mission and calling there. And I think that we're losing our civilization and our way of life on nothing more than simply just that. Where are the men?